the Ashes, the third Test match, England-Australia. I'm going to be watching. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to pick up the action with Australia 326 for 8 after the first day's play. And let's see if England can close out this tail quickly, or if Australia's tail is going to wag. I'm going to be watching on a stream from TNT Sports in the UK. They're the broadcaster. Let me get some lights on in here. Can I get the lights on in here? I turn this on. All right, this one? This one, there you go. I don't know if that helps or not. Can I move this? No, I can't. It's fixed. I'm in a hotel, so again, don't have access to my normal background, but it's all right. I've got internet. I've got my laptop. I've got my phone, so hopefully I'll have your company as well as we go through the game today. So give us your likes and your comments, and we'll describe what's going on. Mitchell Starc is on 33. That was his overnight score. He's going to be on strike. Nathan Lyon is yet to score. He's faced 18 balls. Jofra Archer's got the ball in his hand. Figures of 3 for 29 for him. It's a bit quiet in Adelaide. It hasn't quite filled out yet today, the stadium, but early days, obviously. I think it'll take a bit of time and it'll fill out. And they're about ready to start action for the day, but we'll wait just a moment. And again, thanks to everybody for joining the stream. Appreciate your company, as always. And let's see how this goes. If you're with me, let me know what you think is going to go down today in the Ashes. And you might hear some noise from time to time. Apologies, I'm in a hotel. People slam the doors. Very rude. I know, very rude. Anyway, here we go. Jofra Archer in for the first ball. Quite full. Driven nicely by Starc to mid-on. There is no run. Day 2 is underway. I'd quite like to see, actually, England get through these last couple of wickets quickly. Make the inroads that they need to make, and just, just have a crack at the Australian bowlers, try and build up a bit of a lead if they can. Both teams 2 reviews remaining. Thanks to everybody who's joined. Hold on, I'm trying to get this tripod right. Sorry, I know it's a bit wobbly, but stay with me. Right, here's Jofra Archer, full and wide, sliced away by Mitchell Starc. That's going to go to the boundary behind backward point for 4. Really ordinary delivery that from Jofra Archer. It was just wide and full and allowed Starc to just throw his hands at the ball and pick up 4 easy runs. Not ideal, that, from Jofra Archer. It's not really what you want to see early doors. But valuable runs for Australia. They just want to try and make this tail wag as much as possible. And, yeah, again, if you're joining me, give us a thumbs up. Let me know you're about. Drop us some comments. Join the convo. We'll probably stick around for the first session, at least, I would say. Yeah, I would definitely say the first session for sure. Let me just get this right. It's annoying me. I have broken my tripod. It's fine. It'll do. Twill serve. It's full toss. Little inside edge onto the pads of Starc. That's what happens. I should have sorted this out before I started, really, but never mind. Okay, that'll have to do. Might move a bit during the thing, but it'll have to do. Thank you for the thumbs up. Enjoying... it's been an enjoyable test match, actually. I was quite looking forward to the start of play and seeing how things move on. Lots of England fans will be hoping to see some of the England batters today. Watch Crawley, Duckett and co do the business. Here's Archer into Starc. It's much better on a good length and a very good line, forcing Starc to defend the ball to mid-off. There is no run. Just one ordinary delivery really in this over from Jofra Archer. He's back on it. Hello, Mark. Thanks for joining me, mate. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Let us know where you're from and what you'd like to see happen. Are we happy with this field as well that England have set? It's the one thing, right? Like when I'm broadcasting a match from a stadium, I can see the field, so I can describe it at all times. Here's Archer in and played away nicely. Oh, it's a beautiful shot from Mitchell Starc between cover and extra cover, and it runs away to the boundary for 4. Wow. That's a terrific shot from Mitchell Starc. Like, just didn't move his feet or at all, just met the face of let the face of the bat meet the ball and just pushed it to the boundary. Still a really quick outfield. Starc onto 41. Mark says Australia, supporting Australia. Good stuff. Jeff Moon says, what's a good total on this pitch? I don't know, mate. I mean, it's hard to say what's a good total against this England side, I suppose. I mean, 250 could be enough. 500 might not be enough. It's a really bizarre thing. But I think Australia will be quietly reasonably happy with what they've got. Archer in again, a bit fuller, driven nicely, straight to mid-off. So End of the over, and a good one for Australia to start things off. 8 runs off the first over. They're 334 for 8. I think Australia would take any 350 plus. Australia over the moon. I think certainly from the overnight position. Anything 350 plus, and they're very happy. If they can go further than that, that would really demoralize England for sure. If they could take it to like if they could get past 400, for example, imagine what that does to England's psyche. And just taking a look at that shot through the covers, man, it's beautiful. Like left-handers always look a bit more elegant anyway. But he just looked like a proper bat there, Mitch Stark, the way he played that shot. Now then, Bryden Carr has the ball in his hand. He's going to have a crack at Nathan Lyon, who's 18 balls without scoring. If you're a regular watcher of my YouTube, you'll know that I made a video recently about the longest duck in Test cricket, which was 77 balls. Anyway, Carr into Lyon, and Lyon defends from his crease back to the bowler, no run. Pretty innocuous delivery, a little bit of swing there, but not much. So 84.1 overs have been bowled in this innings. And Stokes looking a little bit irritated, if I'm honest. I think those boundaries in the last over annoyed him. I think the plan was to go bang bang and get out there. Sure, Crawley and Duckett were like mentally they're already in the space where they're looking forward to going out there and having a bat. Here's Bryden Carr into Nathan Lyon again, who flicks this ball nicely off his hips out towards square leg to get off the mark. Single for Nathan Lyon. He's off and running off his 20th ball. Australia haven't really been troubled so far. I mean, it's only been 8 balls, but still, they haven't been troubled. 335 for 8. And that stadium's slowly filling out. I don't think it'll take long. I think I'll get very busy. The shaded bit of the stadium is pretty packed. And the opposite side, where I think you're facing a lot of direct sunlight, that bit is less packed. In fact, it's kind of empty towards the front. I kind of understand that. Probably people trying to keep out the sun. One side of the much more busy than the other. It's a really beautiful stadium. We talked about this yesterday. Really, really pretty stadium, Adelaide. But actually, never had the chance to go there, but I hope so one day. Here's Carr into Stark. Short, cut away beautifully. Past point to the boundary for 4. This is starting to get more than frustrating for England. Mitch Stark is just timing the pants off these balls. Beautiful shot there. It was short and it just sat up for him. Just looking at it. Perfect balance as well from Mitch Stark in that. Just sort of leaned forward, got back straight, ball head over the ball, and just carved it away nicely behind point. In fact, just in front of backward point, I should say. But behind square. That's the correct terminology. Here's Carr into Stark, who again goes onto the back foot. He's done it again. Not as good contact this time. More of a guide than it was a shot, but it's still gone for 4. Wow. Jofra Archer was chasing it. I thought he might get there, but the ball's gone past the boundary. Ben Stokes is looking more and more frustrated. Archer's still down, by the way, which is not great. Well, hopefully he's okay, but Mitch Stark right now is looking like Brian Lara playing these shots. Yeah, it wasn't a great slide, actually. Oh, Jofra, what are you doing? Oof. Just sort of went foot first and slid forward like a bit like a slide tackle in football. Not the one. Here's Carr into Stark. Plays this one away off a thick inside edge into the onside, no run. Stark's nearly got to a 50. He's on 49 off 72 balls. These are invaluable runs for Australia. I think 350. Maybe looking for a few more than that. Also, Nathan Lyon's looked untroubled as well, if we're honest. What do we think? If you're watching, let me know. What do you think Australia are going to finish on? Give me an exact score prediction. I'm going to put one down after this ball. After the 85th over. Carr in. That ball's worked away nicely by Stark down towards deep backward square leg. He'll pick up a single. That's 50. It's a half century for Mitch Stark. Who saw that coming? Mitch Stark's 13th. That's his 13th half century. He's played 103 test matches. That's his 13th half century. He's got 6 centuries as well. No, that's incorrect. Sorry. He's got 13 half centuries. 6 of them have come against England. Wow. He likes playing against England, doesn't he? With bat or ball. All right, so let's have a look at some of the score predictions you sent me. Okay, 1981 AHB says 387. 387 is a really good shout. I'm going to try and be a bit more ambitious from an England perspective. I'm going to say 359. 359. So I'm going to need a wicket to fall quickly. But, I mean, fair play. Mitchell Starc played some lovely shots so far. 50 not out, 73 balls, 8 fours. Glorious. And he just holds the bat in such a weird, casual way. He just sort of holds it from the bottom up. Like, it's no big deal. This is what I do. I'm Starc. Here's Archer in. This is short and wide again. Played slightly uppishly, but in the vacant backward point region has gone for 4. England are going to need to put a fielder deep there now. I don't know what this plan is to bowl short and wide. I don't know if that is a plan, if Archer's not executing, but these are free runs. He clearly likes it there. I don't know why they keep putting it there, short and wide. The total gallops on, 348 for 8. Wow. Let's have a look again. Archer, yeah. So it was uppish, I guess, but there's nobody there, so it's easy. Risk-free shot, really, if you think about it. Mitch Starc is putting on a bit of a clinic here. He's on to 54. Australia 348 for 3. Archer in. Bowled him. There we go. Archer has the last laugh. Ben Stokes probably looking at him saying, why didn't you do that before? Why didn't you just bowl a straight one that came in a little bit? Instead of bowling all this wide, short and wide stuff. Like, what was the point of that? But anyway, a very entertaining cameo from Mitch Starc comes to an end. 54 off 75 he goes for. Really valuable runs for Australia, obviously. Making sure that tail wagged a little bit. It didn't even come in that much, really. It was just straight, but angled in towards the top of leg stump. Knocked the bails off. And England have a wicket. What did I say? 3-6 something? Whatever it was. I don't think I'm going to be too far off. But he gets a big round of applause, does Mitch Starc. And he's going to go get his kit, his pads and stuff on and get his bowling shoes on, because no doubt that'll be required very, very soon. Right, what am I going to do in the interval? Usually in the interval, I'm using my laptop. So I play clips from my my YouTube channel for you guys to watch, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. What I might do is I might just leave it. I'll work something out, don't worry. I don't need to worry about the interval just yet. It could be ages. Could be, couldn't it? It could be ages. Let's have a look. Oof, just top of leg stump. Whoop-ow. Archer's 4th wicket. Maybe guilty of being a little bit ill-disciplined before that, Jofra, but that was good. And I think that's what Ben Stokes was saying to him as well. They were having quite an animated chat. Archer and Stokes. He looked like he was annoyed with him, actually. Anyway, Scott Boland. Australia's last batter out. I can put this video on my Instagram today of Scott Boland's, like, the consistency with which he bowls. Like, he's constantly hitting the same, like, square on the pitch. It was TNT Sports or someone put it together, and they put it on Instagram. I shared it on my page. I think I might have done it on my proper page. I've got 2 Instagrams. I've got one that's at Cricket with Aatif, where I tend to share cricket stuff, and then I've got my main one at Aatif Nawaz, where I post everything. Anyway, Archer into Boland. Ooh, does he get the outside edge? No, very close though. Very close. And Scott Boland's giving it one of these. Scott Boland's like... You don't really expect him to start walloping these to the boundary, you know, but it's... You can just have some fun. Just having a look at it. It came in, yeah, it just left him off the surface. It was a gorgeous delivery. So it just angled in and then just moved away ever so slightly. And Scott Boland looks at the pitch and says, okay, that's something to look forward to shortly. 348 for 9. Scott Boland about to face his second ball. Archer on the hunt for a fifer. Oh, Boland just fends that ball off his pads towards Ollie Pope at short leg on the bounce. So not a real chance, but that was fending off. That's all that was. Let's have a look at it side on. He fends it off and it just drops short of Pope. Gets a hand to it, doesn't let it go past him. But it was just one of those, ooh, get it away from me type ones, you know? Get that ball away from me. Pope just, good reactions. Crawley was behind him as well. There's never going to be a run or anything like that. Here's Archer looking for that fifer. And he comes a bit straighter. Boland defends to the mid-on fielder, and there is no run. One more ball to come in this over. Started with a boundary. If you're just joining us, bit of a flourish from Mitchell Starc, who got to a half century. Started at 33 overnight. Played some lovely shots. Got to a half century. Got Australia some runs. 348 for 9. England looking for this wicket as quick as possible. They can move on to the business end of this test, i.e. batting. I'm probably going to do the first session on a watch along. Well, we might do the second one. Let's see how we go. Archer in again, and this one keeps a little bit low. Boland just pushes into the offside. There is no run. 4 for 41. Archer's figures after 18 overs. Australia 348 for 9. Boland on 0 off 4 deliveries, line on 1 off 20. So, yeah, just taking another look at it. Yeah, just nice, really nice bowling, really, from Jofra Archer, the wicket-taking ball. But the huddle was what was much more interesting. Everybody sort of almost looking a bit concerned, and he sort of takes a step toward. He sort of almost steps up to him as Ben Stokes, and he's sort of flailing his arms. Duckett gave him a pat on the back. Josh Tongue gave him a pat on the back. Anyway, here's Bryden Cast into Nathan Lyon. Works this ball nicely off his pads out towards deep backward square leg. He'll pick up a single. Stark has been the tormentor in chief for England this Ashes. He has. I feel the score is about par. What was that? Andrew says, I feel this score is par. You know what, Andrew? It might be. It's I think it is par. We'll see. I mean, we just won't know until England get out there and bat. It still looks like a good batting surface. I just think England haven't played their best recently. They haven't batted particularly well, so I don't think people have high hopes. But let's see. They need to win this game. A draw isn't even good enough for England. They got to win this game. Keep the Ashes alive. Here's Cass into Boland, who defends that ball outside the off stump, just into the covers. There is no run. Scott Boland, so impressive with the ball as well. Such a magnificent bowler. So underrated as well. I think people get sort of caught up with, they sort of get hung up on like the fast bowlers or the really flashy bowlers. But someone like Scott Boland just hits the thing. Anyway, you cannot have the bright light behind your monitor. Do you want me to turn it off? That one. Because I've got a light over here. You let me know if you want me to turn that off, if it's annoying. Here's Cass into Boland. And that ball's worked just wide of the field. Like Boland's going to get off the mark. He gets a single. And Australia get the 350. 350 for 9. Boland on 1, Lyon on 2. And if that light's bothering you, just let me know. I can turn it off. I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at the screen. It's recording. It looks fine, but you tell me. No biggie for me. 350 for 9. Nathan Lyon on 2. I put paper in front of it. Okay. All right. That ball's played off a thick inside edge out towards deep backward square leg. And they'll take another single. I'm just getting them wrong. All right, here, let me turn this off. All right, let me know. Is that better, Andrew? You let me know. If that's better, we'll leave it that way. If you want, I can turn it back on. No biggie. I've actually got a different light on my face just to make sure I'm well lit. So without the light, it's quite dark, right? Is that okay as well? I don't know. I feel like the light is necessary, right? Yeah? I don't know. Let me know. Here's Cass into Boland. Bowls full driven. Oh, there's a diving effort at mid-off. Can't get there. That ball's trickling away towards the long off boundary. I think it's going to... Oh, it's slowing up a little bit to get on the outfield. No, it's going to get there comfortably. No one's in frame still. Oh, yeah, there we go. Cass eventually got there. Nice looking shot that from Scott Boland. Picks up a boundary. He's on to 5. Let's have a look. Was it particularly poor delivery? Sort of a half volley, and he played it slightly uppishly, and he knew he just had that wide-ish mid-off fielder to beat, which he did with ease. Well, the runs piling up. That's better, says Andrew Chewy. Okay, buddy. We'll leave the light off. No problem at all. No problemo. All right, 1 ball to come in the 87th over. Australia 355 for 9. Here's Bryden Cass. Just squares up Boland a little bit, but they're going to get a single to backward point. Good running by these Australians. The score is now 356 for 9. 87 overs gone in this innings. England just being frustrated a little bit here by this last pair. I want to blow them away. I want to turn it around. They want to come out and have a bat. That is what they want. That's not what they're able to deliver at the moment. Well. So I made a video. I think what I'm going to do in the break is I still don't know really. I don't have any notepads or anything in this hotel either that I could write some stuff on, leave a note for you guys. Oh, I do see a notepad over there. Okay, cool. I'll leave a little note for anybody. I don't know how to do the digital version of it where I just write on the screen, like back in a minute. Just sit around and chat for 10 minutes while there's no cricket on. Here's Archer, short, and Boland just fends it off again towards the fielder at backward square leg. No run. Yeah. I mean, those big organization people like WWE or whoever does like live streaming well, like they know how to go to hold screens. They got like a whole production suite. Just me, mate. Nobody else here. Just me doing my thing. Geezer who likes cricket, wants to stay up late, watch the Ashes with a few buddies online like you guys. Stay with me. Stay with me. Pakistani struggling in the Big Bash at the moment, aren't they? Here's Archer. Edged and pass, second slip. That's going to go for 4 as well. Scott Boland picks up another 4. Top edge just flew past third slip. This is frustrating for England, but Australia will take all of these runs. 360 for 9 now. Lucky shot. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. It was a lucky shot, but I think Australia are very happy with that. Just left him a little bit, and he was just sort of feeling for it outside the off stump. Wasn't really moving or anything like that. A little bit fortuitous. Is there a case for England to stick a third slip in there? Is this the plan? Do they want Jofra to be bowling straighter? I don't know. It's a tail ender, right? Like you bowl fast and straight, surely. I don't know about this wide stuff. I just don't know. Here's Archer. And again, this is full and straight. Nearly gets the outside edge. That was a perfect delivery. It's such a good ball. Jofra Archer just put his hands over his eyes. Bowled a beautiful ball. It was full and just left him. The kind of ball you want to bowl at like a world-class batter. He just bowled it to Scott Boland who didn't get anywhere near it. So he's angled in and just moves away off the surface. Gorgeous, gorgeous delivery. Proper leg cutter style. And wasn't too far away from off stump either, or the outside edge. Well, Scott Boland's got a cheeky grin on his face as well. There's Archer into Boland full, and Boland defends into the offside. No run. 360 for 9 is the score. So look at some of these comments. I'm looking forward to England's approach to batting, says Jeff Moon. 37 degrees in Adelaide. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully the weather won't cause them too much. It's probably harder for the fielding side when it's hot, right? That's probably why everybody's hiding under the shade. And Mark says hello again. Hello, Mark. How you doing, bud? Who made that prediction earlier? I think it was going to be quite clear. 387. That was AHB. So 387. Might be back on. I said 360 something, didn't I? I think I'm still in play now. Anyway, here's Archer to Boland, who again exposes all of his stumps and defends the ball back to the bowler. No run. And with every ball, he just looks like he's enjoying it more. Scott Boland, he's just sort of smiling to himself because he knows this isn't my primary job. I can't do anything wrong here. I'm just going to keep blocking it. Andrew says it's 32 degrees in Penrith, Sydney. Where are you in the world? I'm currently in Cardiff, in Wales, in the United Kingdom. I don't live here, but I'm currently on a stand-up comedy tour, performing all over the UK. We started in Glasgow, and every night I'm a different place. Yesterday I was live streaming from Blackburn in England. Here's Archer into Boland. That's guided away nicely. He's little short arm jab into the offside. Beats the backward point fielder. Beats the deep third fielder. He goes for 4. Scott Boland with more runs to irritate England. 364 for 9. Boland is now on to 14 or 14 deliveries. Wow. Right. Yeah. So I was telling you, I'm currently in Cardiff. So this was day 6 of my 20-night tour. So I'm on the stand-up comedy tour at the moment, raising money for charity, humanitarian aid, and yeah, I'm performing on these shows. And we've got a great lineup. We've got Jeremy McClellan and Tez Ilyas, and just really, really good lineup. And people are enjoying it, thankfully. So yeah. Anyway, Bryden Cast in front of the rover, thick outside edge, trickles to cover, no run, and yeah, so that's why I'm in Cardiff. So yesterday I did my live stream from Blackburn, from a hotel in Blackburn. Today I'm in a hotel in Cardiff. Tomorrow I'll be in a hotel in Birmingham, I think. Yeah, but the show's in Leicester, but the hotel's in Birmingham. So I'll be back tomorrow night as well, at least for the first session. I think the first sessions, I should do those because I'm watching them. Yesterday I watched the next 2 sessions as well, but I thought, all right, let me at least try and sleep. Here's Bryden Cass into Nathan Lyon, and towards his pads, just nicely sort of put away, ready to mid on. Lyon on 3 off 24. Boland on a runner ball 14. Scotty Boland with the shots. Never heard of you. I look you up now. Don't worry about me, Andrew. You don't need to look me up. You can if you want to, but I think in terms of cricket, most people know me best for my work on BBC's Test Match Special, the cricket commentary thing. So I do a lot of cricket commentary on the radio, sometimes on telly here in England, but not for the Ashes. So I'm doing this for the Ashes instead. Cass in short and nicely guided by Nathan Lyon down towards deep third. They'll just pick up a single this time. That's Ben Duckett down there, I think, deep third. 365 for 9. And yeah, so yeah, if you've never come across me before, I make sort of cricket themed videos on the internet. I've got a TikTok, Aatif Nawaz official, and Cricket with Aatif on Instagram. So that's like my big page. I just started that 6 months ago. Already past 1,000 followers. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, 1,000 people, but I was pretty pleased with that. 1,000 people in 6 months, not bad. I'm trying to get the YouTube going a little bit. See if we can get it to that monetization level. I'll make a few extra quid off this. Here's Cass in. And that ball's played into the onside, no run. I'm not too worried about the numbers and things like that, to be honest with you. I kind of just enjoy it. It's nice. You watch the cricket, describe it. Like, what I imagine is everybody watching has got another screen on. And they're also watching the cricket. And it's a bit like watching with a mate. That's why I want to be the mate that you watch cricket with, basically. So that's what I'm trying to do. Lions, the new Steve Waugh, rotating the strike to the tail enders. Jeff. Steve. Imagine, would you say that to Steve Waugh's face? He's a scary dude, I've spoken to him before. Anyway, here's Cass. Boland facing. Ducks underneath a short one. And it's quite a quick one as well. 141.7. Right, into short ball territory now. 365 for 9 Australia. One ball to come in the 89th over of the innings. Scored their runs at a pretty good rate, 4.11. It's Bazball, isn't it? Yeah, Steve Waugh. I remember meeting him briefly at the media centre at Lord's. I forget what it was. It World Test Championship? No, it wouldn't have been, would it? But it was something. And I met him there, and I'll tell you how that went down in a second. His Cass into Boland, who again plays the ball off a thick outside edge to backward point. There is no run, and that completes the 89th over of the innings. Australia just hanging in there, continuing to make England sweat in the Adelaide heat. 365 for 9. So anyway, I was like, I wanted to get a photo with Steve Waugh, who's like one of my favorite players growing up. South Asian guy, so you might not be like, you bloody Poms or whatever. I guess technically I am a Pom, but he would. Oh, what's this? Oh, I'm having internet issues. No. Well, apologies if my feed keeps stopping. By the way, I'm having internet issues here. Jofra Archer about to start the 90th over, and my screen's gone all blocky. This hotel, man. I knew it. This hotel's just ugh. Andrew Chu, yes, you're WWE champion. Yeah, those belts. I've been a lifelong wrestling fan, and I'll tell that to you in a second. Here's Archer. That ball's defended by Lyon, back to the bowler, no run. So I'll explain that in a second. I see your WWE champ. So I've got a WWE championship and a WCW championship belt in the background of a lot of my videos, and that's my wife, my beautiful wife, gifted that to me a while ago, and yeah, that's why I kept them in the background of my videos. There's a few more comments. I will come to them just in a moment. I just don't want to miss any of the action. There's Jofra Archer. This internet is annoying me as well. Archer in. Short. Punched off the back foot by Lyon. That's going to go to the boundary for 4. It's raining boundaries at Adelaide. It's coming from number 10 and 11 at the moment. Lyon on to 8 off 27. Boland on 14 of 17. Australia 369 for 9. Above par? Are we going to say? Is it above par? I don't know. Anyway, do you think England can draw the Ashes, let alone win? I don't know. Alston, Coutinho. I don't know, bud. I think it's hard to see England winning the Ashes. I think they could draw them. I don't know. I meant that as a compliment about Steve Waugh. A lot of runs from the tail end with him. Yeah, of course, Jeff. Of course, Jeff. Yeah, of course. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I just thought it was just an excuse to share that anecdote about meeting him. I'm not sure if it came through because I think my feed stopped. In fact, my TNT Sports feed just gave me the option to go live as well, so I've done that. We're back live. All right, now they're giving us a graphic showing us the field. Archer into Lion, guided to backward point. There is no run. Yeah. Can England win this? Yes, I think they can win this. And I'll be very honest with you. I hope they do win this because it just makes it more interesting. I don't know. Maybe there's like a macabre thing about wanting England to lose 5-0, but not for me. I just think competitive would be much more interesting. You know, it'd be nice to see England get back in the series, push Australia, and let's see what we can do at Sydney and Melbourne. Here's Archer into Lion, who again fends this ball off his pads into the vacant leg side region. There's a whole pocket towards fine leg and square leg, which is completely vacant. Easy run there. I think it might be a leg by. Yeah, leg by is the umpire signal. 370 for 9. It was growing and growing and growing, that lead. For Australia, England being put under a lot of pressure here. I tell you what, in the turnaround, I'll tell you a little bit more about my own cricket involvement. Those of you that don't know very much about me, I can tell you a little bit more. I'll also go through your comments. I think at the end of this innings, surely it can't be far. Can't surely, right? Surely. Archer in. All right. Next over, end of next over. I'll read out all the unread comments and respond to them. Like just it'll give me something to do in the turnover. I'm really annoyed with myself actually. I left my drink all the way over there. Do you mind if I quickly go grab my drink? I'm gonna quickly go grab my drink. I'll keep talking to you. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. It's still in the same room. There's just a fridge in this hotel. A little bit bougie, I guess. Where is my drink? Here it is. Is that it? Yeah. Hold on. Right. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me. Sorry about that. Oh, look at that. The numbers went flying up when I went off the screen. Okay. Australia, 370 for 9. This is Iron Brew Extra, which is like a sugar-free version of Iron Brew. These comments are really funny. I'll respond to them in a sec. Let's just get through this over. Let's see what happens. Here's Josh Tongue into Nathan Lyon. Ooh, inside edge, nearly onto the stumps. Actually, in front of square on the leg side. There is no run. Sorry, excuse me. Partnership between Lyon and Boland is 22 now. 22 of 29 deliveries. Man. This has got to be infuriating for England fans, isn't it? Infuriating. Infuriating? Yeah, that's the word, isn't it? Full and driven to mid-off, no run. I think alcohol would ease the pain of England's performances. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, but I take your point. Yeah, I'm going for sugar-free Iron Brew, which is like it's a Scottish drink. Do you know? I heard the other day, like in every country in the world, Coca-Cola is the best-selling drink in the country, like more than water, more than everything, except in Scotland, where the number one selling drink is Iron Brew. So I heard that. I didn't fact check it. It might not be true, but it'd be amazing if it was. Here's Tongue into Lyon. Guides that ball down towards backward point. There is a bit of protection in the deep now, which speaks to how well England have done. They now need protection in the deep. Right, let's have a little read of your comments again. Okay, so it's 10 degrees in Cardiff, a bit cold for me. It's cold here, mate. Never, blah, blah, blah. Never heard of you. Oh, how do I see the rest of these comments? Okay, hold on. Excuse me. Hold on. There's got to be a way to do this. Okay, yeah, I got them. I got the comments now, but I think Joffrey's probably ready to bowl the next ball, so we'll come back to that. Anyway, thanks so everybody who's with me. Thank you. I appreciate you joining me, by the way. I hope you're enjoying it. Give us a thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithms and stuff. If you give me a thumbs up on the stream, I'd appreciate it. And if you want to subscribe, please do so. I post some what I think is fun cricket content. Boland just has a waft at a wide one outside the off-stump, doesn't get anywhere near it. Goes through to the keeper, no run. 371 for 9. Right, so Andrew Chewy says, looks like rain on day 5 in this test. No, don't say that. Andrew also, so you didn't win the WWE Championship of Cody Rhodes. Well, no, it's the older one. See, so I've got the Winged Eagle belt, the old one. So I won it off Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart and one of those guys. Here's Josh Tongue into Boland. Who again pushes his ball into the offside, no run. By the way, it's a bit of a moral win for Australia here to have England make a bowling change. Like, I think England would have hoped that without having to make a bowling change, they could have taken the last 2 wickets and got their batters out there. But what are we, like, more than half an hour into the day, and England haven't taken those last 2 wickets yet, and they've had to make a bowling change. So they've already seen off one of the bowlers. This is a big win for Australia already. Just little things that demoralise the opposition. I think alcohol would ease the pain of England's performance. I mentioned that, didn't I? Right. Here comes Josh Tongue. That ball's pushed into the offside. There is no run. That is 91 overs of this Australian innings complete. 371 for 9. Still piling on the runs. England still waiting for their opportunity to go and have a bat. Right, now, Alston Coutinho says, what do you think is the reason why England has performed the way they have, considering the media narrative, Bazball in both England and Australia pre-series, something controversial to be viral? Why do I think England has underperformed? I'll be honest with you, I just don't think England have respected the conditions enough. Like, I understand that playing this sort of ultra positive form of cricket has taken you far and made you very exciting. And people, I've loved watching it happen when I've seen teams taken down by it. But I think sometimes you just have to play the circumstances and just respect the quality of the opposition you're playing, particularly when you're playing the Ashes against a strong Australian team, at the very least an experienced Australian team. So I think they just didn't do that enough, and they just committed. They went all in on one style and refused to budge. And I don't know. I think you have to be a bit more flexible. Anyway, Archer into line, who defends the ball back to the bowler, no run. Archer picks up and immediately starts walking back to the top of his run up. I think that's my personal opinion. I think they were just a bit. I think the phrase is pig-headed. I think they were a bit pig-headed in their approach, England, and that's why they are in this position. Like, if you look at this series, there were moments where England was sort of on top, like they were kind of in the driver's seat, but they kind of let Australia back in, whether it was poor fielding or dropping catches or just playing some very questionable shots. Here's Archer into Lyon. Oh, struck him on the pads. Appeal for LBW. The finger goes up from the umpire. I think that's all she wrote. Lyon's probably going to review this. It's LBW. It's a 5-wicket haul for Archer if it remains LBW. We'll wait and see. England haven't walked off just yet. Neither of the two Australian batters. The umpire's given it out. So we're going to see what DRS has to say. Looked kind of... I mean, it might well just be hitting the top of off stump, but it didn't look like it was completely out. Let's have another look. It was hitting quite high, just on the pad flap. The flap at the top of the pads on the back leg. So, might be going over the top. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I don't think there's any bat on it anyway. Nothing on Snicko, which is called Ultra Edge in some parts of the world. Ball is umpire's call. So it's out. The decision will be upheld. I don't know why it's umpire's call, because it's hitting the middle of the bills and a bit of the stumps as well. Feels like enough of a hit to be like not need to be umpire's call, but it's umpire's call anyway. So there we go. Australia finally bowled out. It took England nearly 40 minutes to bowl out Australia, get these last 2 wickets this morning. Australia picked up overnight on 326, was it? 328 for 8. And they finish having added almost another 50 runs, 371 all out Australia, with Nathan Lyon, the last, dismissed on 9 of 35 deliveries. Scott Boland remains not out on 14 of 21, played some nice shots. Jofra Archer has a 5-wicket haul, 5 for 53. And he's doing that thing that Glenn McGrath invented. Glenn McGrath invented that thing where you pick up the ball and you hold up the ball like, batter holds up the bat for a half century, and now bowlers hold up the ball for 5-wicket hauls. Glenn McGrath invented that. I need to make a video about that at some point on my YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Anyway, so 371 all out. Let's go through the scorecard and drop us some comments about what you think about that total. I'll go through your comments in a second. In the meantime, I'll tell you the scorecard. So, first wicket to fall was Jake Weatherall. He went for 18. That was yesterday. Archer got a top edge off him, and Smith took the catch. Travis Head went for 10. Bryden Cass bowled the ball, but it was Zach Crawley who contributed most of that wicket. Stunning catch, low down. Really good stuff. Then Marnus Labuschagne went for 19 off again to Archer, catch taken by Cass this time. Cameron Green, who just came in off a 2.1 million pounds, I think his IPL deal is worth. 2.1 million pound deal, Cam Green. And he went for a duck just a couple of balls after, played the ball straight to mid wicket. Cass took the catch. Bowled Archer, caught Cass. Bowled Archer, caught Cass by both Marnus Labuschagne and Cameron Green in almost identical fashion. But then came the partnership. So Australia were in a little bit of trouble. It was sort of 94 for 4. And then Khwaja and Alex Carey came together and put on a brilliant partnership. They took Australia to 185 for 4. And Khwaja finished on 82. He's gone dismissed by Will Jacks, caught by Tongue on 82. Alex Carey, brilliant 106 for him. In the end, Jacks got him as well. It was a catch by the keeper. Josh English went to Tongue for 32. Pat Cummins got 13. Mitchell Stark this morning, brilliant innings, 54 from 75 balls, played some lovely shots. And then Nathan Lyon and Scott Boland with a bit of a rear guard effort. 14 not out for Boland, 9 for Nathan Lyon. And the bowlers, England, well, Jofra Archer got 5 for 53. 20 overs he bowled, so put in quite a shift. Bryden Cass, 2 for 89 from his 16 overs. Will Jacks, 2 for 105 from his 20 overs. There's a bit of discussion around Will Jacks, and if he's going to bowl that many overs, should you be featuring a specialist spinner? There's a question for you guys. If you're going to bowl 20 overs of Will Jacks, should you just pick an out-and-out spinner? Should you not be doing that instead? I don't know. You tell me. Ben Stokes went wicketless after 19 overs. He conceded 53. Josh Tongue got 1 wicket for 64. Bryden Cass 2 for 89 from his 16. So that is the scorecard. Australia 371 all out. And a reminder, they won the toss and opted to bat first at the start of play yesterday. Pat Cummins decided to do that. They just had that news late on that Steve Smith wasn't going to play. And so they decided to bring Usman Khwaja back in. And Khwaja was dropped early. He was dropped on 4 by Zach Crawley. And then he made the most of that chance. He got 82 in the end. A terrific innings for a career player who's basically playing for his career at this point. He's up there. He'll be 38 soon, Usman Khwaja. So you don't know how much more Test cricket he's got left in him, but he's still just keeping the selectors on their toes, and you love to see it, really. Was he Khwaja? Good guy from everything that I hear about him. Right, let's have a look at some of the comments that you guys have sent my way. Right, I feel England has underestimated Australia, not just the team, but also the conditions. The boundary sizes in Australia don't fit Bazball, really. I feel they aren't grounded enough to win there at the moment. That's from Alston Coutinho, 5128. I'll be honest with you. I think so too. I think they've decided to go with this really, really bullish approach, which, it doesn't work, man. Like, it's not going to work if you're just bullish all the time. You can't just expect to hit the ball to the boundary all the time or dominate bowlers all the time, especially when they're world-class bowlers who are familiar with the conditions, who know how to get the best of the conditions. Look at Scott Boland, finds that area all the time. I know Mitchell Stark's been sort of the chief destroyer, getting all of his wickets and all that kind of stuff, getting the most wickets and all that stuff, but just if you look at Boland and his consistency, that alone shows you that this is not the kind of environment where you just blow a team away. You have to sort of build to these moments and have discipline. Anyway, I sort of agree with you in terms of boundary size in Australia. There's some big-ish grounds in England as well. Australian grounds, a lot of them host AFL as well, on the Aussie rules. But at the same time, I don't think that should be the issue for England at all. Clearing boundaries, maybe picking the ball when you want to clear the boundary. I don't know. Jeff Moon says you may as well review it as it's the last wicket. You're absolutely right. You may as well review it. The conditions in Australia means they don't. Sorry, who's this? Alston Coutinho again. Conditions in Australia means that they don't even need to doctor their wickets because the conditions are so far, and that teams especially have to prepare to succeed there. And I think Australia is winning this one too. He says, right. So there's a lot to unpack there. Now, back in the day, he says, like it was a million years ago. But in my youth, anyway, when I was watching cricket, when an English team was going to Australia to play a Test series, particularly, obviously, the Ashes, they would go for months and months and months. They wouldn't just go like 2 weeks before the first test. They'd go like a month before the first test, play a bunch of warm-up games against a stateside, a president's 11, a prime minister's 11, see a sequence of games before they got into the Ashes proper. Like now, because of the schedule, I think because the international cricket calendar is so cramped, they don't have that time. So, you finish one series, you're into the next one, you finish that one series, you're into the next one. I mean, the Ashes will finish, and then before you know, the T20 World Cup's about to start. It's like there's no respite for these players whatsoever. Um, yeah, it's just difficult to adjust. Australia is one of those places that challenges you. It's a very unique set of conditions, and yeah, it's just not. I just don't think this is the way England's going to blow them away. I think the hype was maybe slightly misplaced. And as you say, Andrew Chewy, they don't make money with warm-up games. You're quite right. Like this is also one of the reasons. But it's not just. It can't just be about the money, right? Like I know everybody's obsessed with making cricket monetized or making the most of cricket or making the most money. Blah 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 blah. Like, do we all need to do that? Like I understand that India's set a different benchmark now in terms of money, and everybody's concerned about money. And I know they're thinking about the same thing they did with the 100 in England. You know how they sold off the teams in the 100, private investment, private equity, all that kind of stuff. Like, would you like? I think there's quite a few watching that are Australian, right? Would you like to see that happen with the Big Bash? Would you like to see like an Indian ownership group, for example, come in and buy the Melbourne Stars or the Adelaide Strikers or Sydney Thunder, whatever? Probably not, right? I don't know. Like, it's not just the money thing, but the focus is always so much on the money. Like, players are making okay money. I know you want to find a way to retain your players. There's a way to do that without selling off one of your heritage product. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my thoughts. But anyway, like you mentioned it, so I thought I'd continue talking about it. It is interesting how much money comes into play these days as well. People always thinking about how to monetize their best players and things like that. I know the PCB, for example, the Pakistan Cricket Board, they've been had their arm twisted a little bit to convince them to let the Pakistani players remain in Australia for the Big Bash for that sort of the business end of the tournament. Although with their performances at the moment, who knows? Could you imagine if Babar Azam's out there running drinks? Like I know it sounds like, well, that shouldn't be a big deal at all. It kind of is with someone like Babar Azam. But Babar Azam's having a shocking time in the BBL. Rizwan hasn't done anything of note. Shaheen has had an embarrassing time as well. I think Shadab Khan's done all right, but I don't know how Harry's got on and how Haris Rauf has got on, but yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at this comment. Andrew Chewy says Green. That's Cameron Green making 4 million Australian dollars for 6 weeks in the IPL. It's all about the money. It's not 6 weeks though, is it? It's longer than that now. That's the problem. The IPL is a long season. It's 10 teams. It's 10 teams, isn't it? Or is it 12 teams now? No, it's 10 teams. I'm pretty sure it's 10 teams in the IPL. Correct me if I'm wrong. It could be 12 teams. I think it's 10 teams, but just correct me if I'm wrong. I should know this because I've broadcast 8 seasons of the IPL for the BBC, so I should know this. But yeah, I mean, it goes on and on and on, doesn't it? It's a really long tournament, and you don't just do the games; you also do a lot of sort of commercial stuff for the teams as well. They're very keen to get everybody involved with that. So, and obviously it's a great experience. Like some players have turned it down over the years. Heard famously about Harry Brook being barred. Is he banned or barred or something from the IPL? But then it was an Indian ownership group that gave him a big contract in the 100 as well. It's really good. Right, anyway. England have made their way out to the middle. Let's get ready to get back into this game. Let's have some predictions for what we expect to see early doors here as well. Andrew Chewy says 1 out in the first over. Let's see if that happens. All right. Anyway, thank you so much. Everybody's with me. Thanks for staying with me, man. It's nice to have 13, 14 of you at the moment. That's very nice of you. Stick around. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up, please. It really helps me in the algorithm. So give us a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm saying or you like my style, give us a little subscribe. I don't overpost. I only just do some watch-alongs every now and again. I post a cricket history video and things like that. So let's see. Ame Pandey says Crawley can't hold that drive back. Let's see, buddy. Let's see. This is what I mean, right? There's an excitement to it because, like, it could be a car crash from England. It could be just appalling, but it could also be quite entertaining. Again, just a polite request just before we start. If you're watching, please do give me a thumbs up and help me out in the algorithms. And yeah, just keep the chat coming, guys. Should be an exciting day session. Here we go. Mitch Stark's got the ball in his hand. Zach Crawley's on strike. Let's see what happens. Right. Here comes Stark finally. He got his sunscreen across his face. Running in rhythmically. 3 slips in place. And he bowls. And Crawley's turned that just wide of mid-on. He'll pick up a single. Get England off and running off the first ball. 1 for no loss. Stark has dismissed Crawley 4 times in tests at an average of 50. Now Stark has also dismissed Duckett 5 times in tests at an average of 21.4. That's a pretty good average. I just saw a long comment. I'll read that after the over, buddy. So I'll try and read all the comments after the over, unless I just catch it at the corner of my... I've got a screen over here on which I'm watching the game and live streaming from there. Sometimes I live stream on my TikTok as well. I don't know. I just want to experiment with that a little bit. It's weird. You get paid really random sums on TikTok. I still haven't worked out how it all works, but I feel like YouTube is quite universal. So this is the thing I want to build. And come with me when I build it. Here comes Starkers into Ben Duckett. Good length, and Duckett just defends it to mid-off, just sort of pushes at it. It's fielded. There is no run. Big loud call of no as well, I think, from Duckett. I've got my audio turned down because obviously I don't want to get in trouble in terms of copyrights and things. Thank you so much to someone who just gave me the thumbs up. Watching that ticker. It's nice to see it move upwards. Appreciate it. Right. Mitchell Stark. So let's have some predictions then. Come on. What's going to happen early doors? Who will, okay, tell me this. Who's going to get out first and who will be the first wicket taker? Tell me that much if you're an Australia fan. If not, tell me how many runs you think Crawley and Duckett are going to get. Let's have some predictions. Stark into Crawley, leading edge. Ooh, just trickled to backward point. Oh my God. He didn't know anything about that. Ben Duckett. He just got squared up by it and he was looking towards the leg side, but the ball actually went towards point. Oh, on the bounce, obviously. But yeah, it was close. He doesn't look settled. Looks like a nervous man, does Ben Duckett? Mitch Stark. He's I think he probably feels like he could have him on toast at the moment. Good pace as well for Mitch Stark. 144, 145, 146, getting quicker and quicker with every ball. There's Mitchell Stark. And then he comes again to Duckett. Ooh, nearly feathers an edge through to the keeper. Oh my God. Duckett just had a little flirt with that for no reason whatsoever. Oh my goodness. It's an eventful first over. Oh, cheers, guys. Should have done that first. Never mind. Right. Nathan lines at backward point, just jumping up and down, pretending like that's where the catch is coming from Duckett. Ben Duckett, 0 of 3. Hasn't really played a convincing shot yet. Here's Mitchell Stark into Duckett. Ooh, lovely delivery. Just snakes away from him off a good length. Duckett just plays inside the line of it. Stark started really well here and kept a very good pace up. After that first ball, everything else has been above 145 kilometers per hour. I will read your comments out after this over. Keep them coming. Keep those predictions coming. Keep those predictions going, boys and girls. Oh, man. Such a good delivery. He's such a skillful bowler as Mitchell Stark. Zach Crawley at the non-strikers end looked so worried. It was proper drama, mate. Right. Mitch Stark into Duckett, full and a bit swingy, and Duckett watchfully drives the ball to mid-on. There is no run. End of the first over. England are 1 for no loss. So no wicket in the first over, if you're an Australian fan. And a few claps from the crowd for England surviving that first over. Really good stuff from Mitchell Stark, though. Right, let's have a little read of these comments. Right, 1 out in the first. Okay, Crawley can't hold back on the drive. We did that one. Alston Coutinho says, what do you think about the Saudi involvement in cricket right now? Positive and the negative. They're making an 800 million league right now, considering BCCI and ECB are reviving CLT20 against it. That's interesting. Let's talk about that in a second. Shorter distance square of Adelaide more than any other ground. I wonder what that means. Andrew Chewy says all out for 190. Duckett first out. Stark. Weeks coming 3 wickets. Okay, Cummins going to get 3 wickets. Okay, I think you had a little typo, but I think I know what you meant. You're looking at 190 all out. So you think Australia will bat again today? Let's see how we go. I'll talk about that Saudi involvement thing in a second. Right now, Cummins is about to start his first over. Zach Crawley on strike. 3 slips in place. Here's Cummins. And Crawley gets behind that and firmly defends it into the offside. No run. There's opening partnerships in this Ashes so far for England have been pretty dreadful. 0, 4, and 48. I think that's what it was. Cummins has got Crawley out 4 times in tests, averaging 54. I think they'll show me what he's done with Duckett in a second. They haven't just yet, but they'll tell us in a second. England 1 for no loss, 7 balls into their innings. This isn't Bazball, is it? Cummins in as Crawley turns that ball just wide of the fielder at mid-on. He'll pick up a single. Just looking to rotate the strike at the moment. Zach Crawley, haven't seen anything too flashy from him. Probably what's required for England right now. And I talked about this, if any of you saw my preview video for this test match, I talked about what England needed to do to be more successful against Australia. And it was literally just showing the bowlers more respect. Like, you can't just try and smash the ball to all parts or try and bat at a run rate of 6 runs and over all the way through an innings. You just can't do that and be successful over a long period of time in conditions that you're not familiar with against a team who are familiar with those conditions. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Right, the Saudi cricket thing. We'll come back to that in a minute, man. Maybe after this over. It's quite a dense, fertile topic you've picked. Is Cummins in, left alone outside the off stump by Duckett. No run. Nice angle, just going across the left-hander. Little smile from Duckett as well. Right, so I don't really mind anybody getting involved with cricket or investing in cricket. I know some people have like a moral issue with Saudi Arabia. I don't accept that, like this whole sports washing thing and everything else like that. Like, bro, like, look at every country in the world has blood on their hands, if you go back far enough. So I don't take a moral thing about it. I don't think that anybody should. If people want to pay for cricket, they want to pay for cricket. What I just want is people to respect the heritage of cricket a little bit and not just turn it into a big financial circus. You know what I mean? Anyway, we'll come back to that. Cummins into Duckett. Oh, on the bounce to second, third step. Bounce. I'm going to give Duckett the benefit of the doubt and say that was a controlled edge. You know what I mean? It was a controlled shot. Yeah, thick outside edge on the bounce, sort of soft hands. I think he did that on purpose. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Although there were a few oohs and ahs from the Australian players. I just saw a comment that said you should put score on the screen. I'd love to. I don't know how to. Somebody let me know how to, and I will do. I'm just a dude, and I'm just one guy watching the cricket. I'll keep telling you the score. It's 2 for no loss at the moment, so nothing major has happened. But unfortunately, I'm unable to put the score on the screen. Here's Cummins. Duckett plays this one nicely, finds a gap in the covers. That ball should go to the boundary. Travis Head in pursuit is not going to get there. First boundary for England comes off the bat of Ben Duckett in front of square on the offside. And he'll breathe a sigh of relief, I think. Ben Duckett hasn't really had anything all his own way and finally finds a ball in his area. Really controlled sort of push through the offside. And England's first boundary. They're on to 6 for no loss. And we'll go from there. Are you English or Australian, asks Mark. What do you can't tell? You really can't tell? Guess. If you'd been paying attention, you would know by now. Here's Cummins into Duckett, who turns this ball into the onside this time. Again, just wide of the fielder at mid-on. They pick up another single. So just starting to rotate the strike a little bit more freely now, England. That was a better over for them. They got 6 off that. They are 7 for no loss after 2 overs. So a couple of sort of hairy moments for Ben Duckett in that first over. But since then, England has started to score again. Nobody get too excited because you never know how quickly things can fall apart. But just coming up to an hour's play so far today, and it's already been very, very exciting stuff. First, Australia finished their innings, adding to their overnight score. They finished on 371 all out, and England, in response, are currently 7 for no loss. Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley currently okay. Nothing's happened just yet. although Stark has bowled a really good first over, and now he's about to start his second. In he comes to Duckett, who has a go at one that's short and wide, but too wide. Really, got nowhere near it. In the end, it goes through to the keeper. Right, let's have a look at some of these comments. You should put the score on the screen. I'd love to, Mark. I can't. Can't. I don't know how to. Right, Alston Coutinho. As a Portuguese Indian fan, until the World Cup, I'm following cricket. I feel Australia winning this 5-0. Don't really see England turning this around unless a worldie from Stokes. I think England are going to need a worldie from more than one person if they're to come back into this, bud. I can't see. Like, it's not just going to take a worldie from Stokes. Like, that might get them a phase of play. They're going to need a sequence of worldies to make this work. Here's Mitchell Stark into Ben Duckett, who drives us beautifully through the covers. Got on top of the bounce nicely, and that'll be a boundary for Ben Duckett. After a slightly ropey start, he's played some nice shots here, Ben Duckett. He's on to 9 off 11 now. England into double figures, 11 for no loss after 2.2 overs. So you got to remember, it's still a really good batting pitch. I know, like, our short-term memory tells us that England can play some poor shots, and Australia can bowl very well, obviously. But if they get their act together, this is the surface to pile on the runs. You know? Let's not get too excited, though. It's only 11 for no loss just yet. 2.2 overs into the England response to Australia. Stark into Duckett, who drives off a thick inside edge towards square leg. Just in front of square leg, in fact. There's no run. Right, let's see. What else have we got? Are you Australian or English? English is the guess. English is correct. English is correct. I'm actually English of Pakistani origin. But yeah. English, live in London, though I'm currently in Cardiff. Yesterday I was in Blackburn. Tomorrow I will be in Leicester. Just throwing names of places out there. I'm currently running around, which is why my backdrop keeps changing as well, because I'm in different hotels. So it's the gig. Long comment. I'll come back to that at the end of the over. Alston Coutinho is Stark, who flicks that ball. Who gets flicked, I should say, by Duckett down to fine leg. He picks up a single. Duckett into double figures. Duckett onto 10 off 13. England 12 for no loss after 2.4 overs. Do you know, it's a good idea, Mark. Like, I'm going to try and learn how to do this, putting the score on thing. Thing is, because I'm not at home at the moment. If I was at home, then I could use like my television to watch the game. And I could do more stuff off my laptop. I think on the phone, you're a bit restricted with things you can do. But I'll try and learn anyway. I think that would be that would be cool. Something to think about. Right now, I just want to have fun with this, man. Let's have some fun with it. It's nice. I feel like I'm watching the game with some buddies. That's what all I wanted. Some buddies watch the game with me while I'm on tour away from home. Here's Stark into Crawley, who leaves this alone outside the off stump. There is no run. Right. Let's try and get a couple more comments in. I feel like the sports watching thing is more of a thing to malign Saudi instead of really caring about human rights. You need the traditional cricket playing countries to care more about it, to revive it. I completely agree. Saudi involvement could be a counterweight to BCCI, which I, as an Indian, don't mind. Yeah, I mean, look, it's good for it's never. I don't think it's ever a good thing in any industry or any sport for power to be, like, sort of in one, like, just to be controlled, for all the power to lie in one area. I was looking for the word. I forgot the word that I was thinking of. Do you know the word I was thinking of? I don't know. Here's Stark into Crawley, full, driven off a thick outside edge, straight to backward point. There is no run. That is the end of the over, is it? Yeah, that's the end of the over. 3 overs gone. England 12 for no loss. They are 359 runs behind Australia. Centralized power. Ame Bande, well done. Yeah, I don't think it's good for a lot of. Obviously, I think everybody knows that. I think the number is 85%. So the BCCI, the Indian Cricket Board, or the Board of Control for Cricket in India, they contribute something like 85% of cricket's revenue, which obviously gives you intense leverage over the rest of the countries and over the game. Essentially, we've seen the way that the revenue has been divided up and things like that. And not like, I'm not trying to be political or anything, so nothing to do with India's politics, but like anybody with that much power will now start to think about their own interests ahead of everybody else's interests. And maybe that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, I suppose. You should think about your own interests. But in terms of cricket, we want power to be a little bit more spread out and for there to be just counterweights to each other. And Saudi could eventually be a counterweight. I don't know, but from what I hear, most of the negotiations are with the BCCI. So who knows what will happen? I've heard loads of conflicting reports about Saudi. Here's Cummins. Duckett pushes that into the offside, no run. Score remains 12 for no loss. So I've heard loads of things about Saudi. I've heard that Saudi is doing a women's league, to counteract that whole sort of gender equality thing or gender inequality thing. I've heard that it's going to be like a Masters League of retired cricketers. I've heard that it's going to be a different format from regular cricket altogether. There have been so many conflicting reports about cricket in Saudi. What I know is it's not a heritage product in Saudi. Some sort of sports have done quite well in Saudi that have gone a bit out of the box, like snooker, for example, and boxing. Like boxing's become a Saudi thing. As Cummins is in, that ball's flicked away towards a backward square leg. It might go to the boundary. It does go to the boundary. Duckett's third boundary of this innings. He's on to 14 now. And England have moved on to 16 for no loss. So pretty good start this from England, actually. 16 for no loss is pretty good. It's better than it's been recently, let's be honest. And it's Ben Duckett getting some runs, which I'm sure will be a sigh of relief. There'll be sighs of relief from a lot of people in that England dressing room. Yeah, I think I'm curious to see what it is that Saudi do. Personally, I feel quite isolated from the game. Like I've been working as a cricket broadcaster since 2018, sorry, for the BBC. As Cummins is in to Ben Duckett. Oh, beats the outside edge this time. He was looking to drive and just checked his shot a little bit, and that ball just went past the outside edge through to the keeper. Good one from Cummins. Name a sport where power is divided evenly. I can't think of one. That's a very good point. But let's have a look at some of these comments. I think I fell behind. Centralized power. Stark in the form of his life. You know what, Mark? He really is. He's bowling beautifully. Hold on. Let's just see this next ball, and I'll read the rest of the comments. Cummins in. That ball's just chopped to backward point. No run. Score remains 16 for no loss. Okay. So name a sport where power is divided evenly, says Andrew. I can't think of one. Well, no, I'm not saying it has to be divided evenly, but if there's just one country that dominates, I don't think that can be a good thing for that sport. So counterweights are important. It's the point that I think Ame was making earlier. Yeah, I think it was Ame that was making it. Was it Ame or was it someone else? It might have been Alston Coutinho. I feel the BCCI could exploit it a lot more considering they have 85% of the fans, not that they should. You're right. If I'll tell you what I think about that in a second. Here's Cummins into Duckett, who drives, full-blooded drive through the covers. That's a shot of authority from Ben Duckett. It goes to the boundary for 4. Overpitched from Cummins, that just outside off, and Duckett just put his hands through it nicely. And he's on to 18, batting nicely now, and with confidence is Ben Duckett. This is a very good start for England. I think it's gone from being good to very good, I would say. And thank you so much to whoever gave me the thumbs up just now. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on my channel. Always posting stuff on there. Right, 20 for no loss. 1 ball to come. Oh, he's nearly chopped on. Oh my God. Ben Duckett, thick inside edge, passed off stump, and it goes to sort of a leg gully area where the keeper picks it up from. But he was not in control of that shot whatsoever. It was that close to chopping onto his off stump. In any case, he survives and takes a single. England 21 for no loss. Good start this from Ben Duckett. Zach Crawley along there with him at the moment. He actually looked back in terror. Oh, what have I done? But he's fine. He survived. Right. What was that comment? Yeah. So, the BCCI could exploit. So, think about it this way, right? India makes 85% of cricket's money. Now, if India, the BCCI said, yo, we're going to have a 6-month-long IPL, which they could, right? A 6-month. Who's going to argue with them? Who's going to say, no, that's crazy. You can't have a 6-month-long IPL. That's too big a dent to put in the international calendar. There's no world events. What about other countries that don't get to play in the IPL, i.e. like Pakistan and, some of the lower ranked countries whose players don't ever really make the running. They'll be like, no, but if they wanted to, they could, I suppose. So I guess the rest of the world should really just be grateful that they haven't flexed their power even more than they could. But it's important to stay ahead of that. I think if fans keep them under check, then they won't do anything like that just yet. Although I'm sure there's probably quite a few people out there that'll be really excited about a 6-month IPL season. Not this guy. I like the IPL, it's fine. I wish they'd let the Pakistanis play. Here's Stark into Duckett. That ball's flicked down to fine leg for a single. 22, the score moves on to for no loss of 4.1 overs. And before you say, yes, I know it's like a government thing. It's not apparently anything personal. I remember that first season of the IPL where the Pakistanis did play. Some people don't even know that Pakistanis ever played in the IPL, but Shoaib Akhtar famously played for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Shahid Afridi played for a team called the Deccan Chargers, who don't exist anymore. Muhammad Asif, remember him? He of match fixing fame, spot fixing fame. Muhammad Asif, one of the best bowlers ever, who threw it all away. He played for the Delhi Daredevils before they became the Delhi Capitals. It was a really interesting season of IPL cricket. I should really do a video about it at some stage. Here's Stark into Crawley, who guides this ball nicely, just wide of backward point, in front of backward point, and picks up a single. He hasn't had much of the strike, Crawley. That's his third run off his sixth ball. Duckett's faced 20, and he's on 20. He's on a runnable 20. England, 23 for no loss. Still 348 runs behind Australia. I'm going to have a little sip of water. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. If I can get into double figures of thumbs up, I'm not really that concerned about the numbers and all that, but it's like something, right? I can be like, okay, so I got like 6, 7 yesterday, I got 10 today. That'll be nice. We'll have a look at some of these comments after this over as well. Right, Stark into Duckett. Plays this ball into the onside. No run. Score remains 23 for no loss. BCCI are not allowing contracted players to play leagues other than IPL is tyrannical, in my opinion. That is the opinion of Ame Pandey. I agree. I think it would be really cool to see Indian players play everywhere else in the world. I'd love to see Indian players play in Pakistan in the PSL, but that's the hard one. For a start, it'd be great to see them play in the 100, the Big Bash, and things like that. I know DK's played a little bit here and there, and you do see some Indian players playing in it's like red ball cricket, but you don't often see them playing white ball cricket, and that's because of that contracted thing. DK Dinesh Karthik, sorry, I didn't mean to be that guy. That's chopped nicely by Ben Duckett. Is there protection at deep backward? There is now. Nathan Lyon patrolling at deep backward point, so just a single out there for Duckett. He moves on to 21. England 24 for no loss. 2 balls to come in this. Which over of the innings is this? It's the 5th over of the innings. 24 for no loss, England. Good start. Very good start. I thought they might be a little bit demoralised, actually, after the little barrage from Australia towards the end. Mitch Stark picking up another half-century. He's got quite a few half-centuries, actually, in Test cricket. More than I thought. All right, here comes Starkers. Into Zach Crawley again. Sprinting in. Bowles beats the outside edge. Through to the keeper. No run. Score remains 24 for no loss. I feel quite awake, As in, yesterday I just did the first session. Maybe I do the second session as well. I don't know. I should have sat like this from the start. Is this weird if I sit from here? Because it's a bit more comfortable getting back, but I can't read that well. If Gautam Gambhir was coaching, Australia, Stark would have been number 3 for Australia next match. Gautam Gambhir is getting a lot of critique from Indian cricket fans at the moment. And you sort of understand why. Here's Stark into Crawley, who flicks that ball away off his pads out towards the square leg region. Feels got a bit of ground to cover. Does all right in the end, Nathan Lyon. And cuts it off. They get back for 2. Crawley on to 5. England 26 for no loss. It's been a very good start this for England. And I was talking about scoring rates. They picked that up very quickly, actually, didn't they? Picked it up very quickly. Right. Oh, they're showing a commercial on TV. Let's have a look. Alston continue. Muhammad Asif is a super sad story. The guy had so much promise. He threw it all away. Sad thing is someone but 2 didn't really feel the real deal with extreme consequences and goes to talk shows to criticize. So I'll tell you something about Salman, but okay, here's the thing. I think when they've done their time, which they did, right? What happened there? Oh, sorry, they're just showing a replay. Yeah, I think when they've done their time, you got to sort of let it. I mean, obviously they can't play cricket anymore. I think Salman Butt actually did play cricket post ban. I think he might have played in one season of the PSL, just a couple of matches, but didn't do too well. Oh, what's happening here? Yeah, so the guy's out with the big hammer, and he's hammering just in front of the crease at the bowler's end, just so he can. I think there's the foot marks. He's having a bit of trouble with the foot marks. Either Pat Cummins, yeah, Pat Cummins is. So they just flattened it out with that giant hammer. I've seen someone do that in person, like from not too far away, and the whole ground just shakes, like the whole square just kind of vibrates if you're standing on it. It's a very cool thing to see up close. Also, just really unusual to watch a guy whack the floor with a hammer. We do some weird things in cricket, man. When you think about it, we do some really bizarre things in cricket. Right, here is Pat Cummins into Duckett, who defends the ball back to the bowler. No run. Score remains 26 for no loss. I'll complete that point in a minute. One more ask. There's 12 of you watching this at the moment, and I've only got 8 thumbs up. So come on, get me to the 10. Get me to the 10. Yeah. What was the point we were making a minute ago? Yeah, about Salman Butt. Yeah, so he did his time, and now he's a pundit, one of those analysts on TV. And I'll be honest with you, his analysis is pretty sound. Like, is he critical sometimes? I think he is critical sometimes, but you got to be sometimes, right? Cummins in, Duckett plays that ball to a diving point who doesn't get behind the ball, so they'll pick up a single to deep cover. Score ticks on to 27 for no loss after 5.2 overs. So I think if you're like willing to work on yourself, accept your mistakes, ask for forgiveness, and try and come back. I don't think he should be involved in like picking teams or being in selection or things like that, obviously, after what he did. But if he wants to add analysis, if TV channels want to employ him for his expertise, and from what I've heard, it's pretty good expertise, I think that's fine. That's just my opinion, obviously. I don't have any issue with that. And also from what I hear, he's actually quite a nice guy. He's been quite humbled by that experience. But Muhammad Asif, I don't know anything about. I know that he went and played some cricket in Norway. Didn't know the Norwegian cricket scene was a big thing, but I know that Asif went and played there for a bit. I don't know much about his life beyond that, to be honest with you. Cummins into Crawley, who leaves that outside the off stump. Actually, Muhammad Amir, I mean, what a comeback he made. Came back, won the Champions Trophy with Pakistan in 2017. And then sort of underachieved a little bit, but that's pretty good, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at this comment. Alston, continue. I think this is Zach Crawley's chance to shine, considering Zach Crawley was made to be this guy who scores a massive score once in every 20 innings. Yeah, Crawley's had that kind of reputation. Like, Crawley looks fantastic until he gets out. Like, this is his reputation. He looks absolutely brilliant until he gets out. Here's Cummins. Crawley gets firmly behind that one, defends it into the offside, no run. They've been a pretty good opening partnership for England over the last few years. If you think about it, they've managed to go all over the world and score runs, really, and just be destructive at the top of the order. You don't think about them too much when you think of England. You think of sort of Joe Root, Harry Brook, Ben Stokes, like that. But they kind of come in under the radar of it, but they give England a lot of big starts. I think there's somebody walking around the ground with like hydration packs, just filling up people's water bottles and stuff. That's a really good touch. I suppose it's necessary in Adelaide because it's really hot. Really hot. Here's Cummins into Crawley, pushes the ball to mid-on. They run through for a quick single. And England move on to 28 for no loss. One ball to come in the 6th over. The deficit, 343. England trail by 343. We're one thumbs up away from 10 for this live stream, which would be, I think, a personal best. So I've actually only done 3, but it'd be nice to get to 10. So if you can get me a 10th thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. I probably should have advertised this. I put it on my Instagram live or whatever. But I actually don't mind if it's not a huge group of people. I just want enough so we can have a chat. I don't want so many, those crazy ones where there's so many comments you can't read them out. This time the ball strikes Duckett quite high up on his thigh. He gets back in his crease, and now he's having a little feel of his thigh. No appeals for anybody from Australia. It was going down leg, but I think that's hit him in that awkward bit right between your waist and your thigh. But he's all right. He's just folded over a little bit, but I think he's okay. 28 for no loss England after 6 overs, right? There was a comment in there that I didn't look at. If you haven't already, please thumbs up. Come on, get me to that 10. 10 thumbs ups. That's what I want from this video. Thoughts on Cummins' re-entry into the 11? I mean, he's got to, innit? He's got to come back in. I know there was a case made for him not coming back in, but he's your captain, you know? Like, you have to think a little bit about what comes next. Like, when I looked at Australia's squad for this series, I was like, well, these guys are not interested in the World Test Championship or the future. They just want to win the Ashes, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good game plan if like 99% of your players are over the age of 30. But, you know, at some point you have to start thinking, okay, what are we going to do next? What happens after the Ashes? Here's Stark, and Crawley leaves that ball as it goes through to the keeper, no run. I don't think he's left too many balls in the last few years as Crawley. Run rate's not a problem, but it's always exciting. I think this is what I mean. It's exciting when England are batting, like 28 for no loss after 6.1 overs, playing some shots. Now, Mitchell Starc wasn't too happy with the crease there. I think we might see the hammer come out again just to flatten it out, that area where the front foot lands. I mean, I joke about it, but it is quite dangerous for a fast bowler. Like, you're prone to stress fractures. You're putting your body in weird positions. So if your front foot slides, it gets slippery there that you can do yourself some serious damage. But he's okay. He's fine. Starkey's walking to the top of his run. England at 28 for no loss, 343 runs behind Australia. Here's Stark. Crawley defends the ball back to the bowler. There is no run. And what have we got? No, we haven't got the 10th thumbs up yet. But if you're enjoying the coverage and you haven't yet, please do give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And everybody that has done, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Right. Although Butt was 23, Aatif and Amir were like 18. I don't know. No. Aatif was the oldest of the three at the time. Alston, Amir was 17. And Amir was 17 years old. And Aatif was like late 20s. He might have even been 30s already at that point, actually. He might have been 30s already at that point. Here's Stark. Full and glanced, and good stop from Alex Carey there, because it was bounced short of him going down the leg side. It had a little bit of pad on it, so you had to just adjust. And if he didn't get any glove on that, that was going to run away to the fine leg boundary for 4. So really good stuff from Alex Carey there. Saved his team 4 runs. They're showing Mitchell Stark's grips at the moment. Sorry, his left arm, isn't he? So it wouldn't be this one, it'd be this one. 2 fingers across both of them. Yeah, I just saw your message, Alston Coutinho. Aatif was the oldest of the 3. He should have known better. Butt was the captain. He was 26 or something at the time. Here's Stark, full, driven nicely past the bowler. This could be runs for Crawley. Well, it will be runs, obviously. I don't think it will be 4, though. Travis Head just chases it down. It should get back for 2, though. They do. So England, in fact, 3. They can get 3 from that. Crawley on to 9. England 31 for no loss. This has been good stuff from England. What they would love is to go into lunch wicketless. Like, if they can go into lunch without dropping any wickets. Oh, something happened to my phone. I've done something very silly. I've had it on all that time. And I haven't had the charger on. Let's see if I can get the charger on here. Oh, good. But it's flipped around. Sorry about that. Hold on. And that's going to be annoying for somebody watching the live stream back later. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah, that'll do. Right? That'll do? Okay, I'm sort of out of frame, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Great. Sorry about that. The charger needed to go in. Here's Stark. Full flicked away. Nice. That's a lovely shot from Ben Duckett. It was overpitched. It was on his pads, and he just flicked it. Just flicked it. And sent it to the wicket boundary for 4. Duckett. He's flying, mate. He's on to 26. A runner ball 26 for Duckett. England 35 for no loss. So, pretty good stuff. Many batsmen on record have said that Aatif was unplayable. That's true. He was incredible. They used to call him the Pakistani McGrath. Like Glenn McGrath is like in sort of Southeast Asia. People love Glenn McGrath in India and Pakistan. His skill is just really adored in those parts, and Aatif was like as close as any Pakistani ever got. Obviously, take that with a pinch of salt. This time the ball's been guided off the back foot by Duckett through the covers, I think that deep extra field is still there. He is. Scott Boland's out there now, but managed to go wide enough of him for Duckett to pick up 2. Really good over that for England. Mitchell Stark one as well. They take 9 runs off it. Was that right? Yeah, 3, 4, and 2. Yeah, 9 runs off that over. England 37 for no loss after 7 overs. Absolutely flying. This is a pretty good start. This is a very excellent start. This from England, right? Right? Pretty good start. I'm going to say. What do we think is going to happen? What's going to happen at lunch? By lunch. Lunch is what, 35 minutes away. Do we think England are going to drop a wicket before lunch? Do we think England can go wicketless into lunch? There's my question to you people. Answer it. Right. Oh, interesting. Nathan Lyon has taken the most wickets at Adelaide of any bowler, I think, in Test matches. Yeah, 63 wickets in 15 matches at an average of 25. I'm sure we'll see him in action later. Here's Cummins into Crawley, who just fends that off into the onside, doesn't really control it. Cummins then kicks the ball to the fielder and mid-wicket. And Nathan Lyon, actually, this is really cool. There's some kids at the edge of the boundary. Nathan Lyon just walking over to them, giving them a little autograph. It's quite nice. Keeping his eye on the game, obviously. I like it when cricketers do that. Just go to the edge and just sign some autographs and take some selfies and things like that. It's nice. It's not really a common thing anymore, autographs, is it? People do the selfie thing, but not a lot of people do autographs anymore. Right. There's Cummins. Into Zach Crawley, who drives beautifully but picks out extra cover. He got a hold of that as well. He'll be gutted. He hit the ball straight to the fielder off the ground. No alarm, but just nailed that drive. So annoying. Like, even the cricket that I've played, you know when you hit the ball sweetly, but you pick out a fielder, you're like, oh, man. 37 for no loss, the score. Crawley on 9 off 17. Duckett on 28 off 27. And it's the Australian captain, Pat Cummins, who has the ball in his hand upon his return to the side. There he comes. Pat Cummins, 2 slips in place, over pitching. And Crawley flicks the ball nicely, but picks out the fielder at mid-wicket again. It's Jake Weatherald over there, number 66 on his back. And that is no run again. 3 dots in a row here for Cummins. Now, England side, when they get dotted up, they play some weird shots. So anything could happen next, mate. Anything could happen next. They're dotted up at the moment. Are they going to do anything silly? Let's see. Just 13 runs to the 50 for no loss target for England. That's true. Crawley runs down the wicket after being dropped. Oh, hold on. I'm going to have a little look at that comment. That looked fun. After this ball. Here's Cummins into Crawley. Oh, beats the outside edge. Oh, in fact, there's an appeal. There's an appeal. He's got him. He's got him. Pat Cummins gets the outside edge. It goes through to Carey, who throws the ball up in celebration. The umpire's finger goes up. Crawley's walking. There's no DRS review or anything like that. He's happy to just walk off. And that will be gutting for Zach Crawley. He goes for 9. And Pat Cummins has the breakthrough for Australia. It's a really good delivery. Just angled into the right-hander and just straightened enough to take the outside edge. A really, really good delivery. Pat Cummins, Australia's captain, marks his comeback with a wicket. That's Nico showing a clear edge. No point hanging about Zach Crawley. He's walking back. He goes for 9. England 37 for 1. Still a long way behind Australia. Big moment in the game. Zach Crawley going. And a big player's about to come out as well, isn't he? Joe Root about to make his way out. All right, let's have a little look at the comments while we wait for the new batter. Crawley runs down the wicket after being dropped in the slips and chips it to mid-on before lunch, says Ame Pandey. Just 13 runs to 50 for no loss for England, says Alston Coutinho. And then he goes, oh, FFS. And it's always the way. This is why I enjoy doing this more than tweeting about cricket or posting on X, because like you're ready to get done by somebody. Crawley had to give after middling and picking outfielders. It's a pattern he's shown. Gets desperate, says Ame Pandey. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for that dismissal, Ame. I think it was a really good delivery. Like, if you get a chance later, like on social media or whatever, watch the clips. It was a really good delivery. Just sort of angled in towards him and then just straightened off the surface. It's so hard to play. Ollie Pope, new batter in the middle for England. 37 for 1 England. And Pope has played 64 tests, 27 years of age, averaging 35, 16 50s, 900s, a best of 205. And Ollie Pope, I like him. He signed a pair of England shorts for my birthday last year as a birthday gift. He gave me a pair of signed England shorts, which was really nice of him. And I remember that was in Rawalpindi when England were playing Pakistan. Here's Cummins, overpitched and flicked away by Pope down towards fine leg. First ball. Nathan Lyon comes around to do the fielding. They should get 2 here, I think. Yeah, they get 2. So Pope off the mark with a brace first ball. England 39 for 1. I can see Scotty Boland warming up. You can see him just loosening up a little bit. Right, full credit to the bowler, but after that initial confidence surge, Crawley refrains from leaving the ball, goes into Bazball mode. Yeah, I agree with you. Like there is an issue of discipline there as well from not just him, not just Crawley. I think a lot of England's batters have been guilty of that recently. Maybe Crawley more so. I don't know. Here's Cummins into Pope, who again flicks this ball nicely. Nathan Lyon's a busy boy out there at deep backward square leg or fine leg, that kind of region. He's got a lot of ground to cover. They'll just pick up a single, though. A successful over for Australia. 3 runs coming off it. And the big wicket of Zach Crawley. Cummins' comeback wicket. England 40 for 1 at the moment. And still a long way behind Australia. How many runs? 331 runs behind Australia. It's been a very intriguing session so far. Still just under half an hour to go in this session. And yeah, it just gives me a chance to say thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. It's been fun. It's been nice chatting with you, reading your comments, describing the action to you. And what an intriguing test match. What an intriguing test this is. Now, if England can just avoid losing 2 minutes, like another wicket before, if they can go into lunch 1 down, I think they'd still be reasonably happy with that. I don't think they'll be too disappointed. Well, it's a big deficit, but like a couple of wickets and then you're really shaky, aren't you? Anyway, Scott Boland's about to come into the attack. Doesn't get easier, does it, with Australia? Never gets easier. Everybody's awesome. Scotty Boland, 36 years of age, 17 tests. Imagine if he played to his potential. Here's Boland in. That ball's left outside the off stump. It's a good length straight away, does Boland. Imagine if he'd not played to his potential but been used more. If he played for any other country, Scott Boland played for any other country, he would have played like 50 tests at least by now, right? Maybe 100 tests. Such a good bowler. Such a consistent bowler. I know he's very popular in England as well. I played some games in England. Right, England 40 for 1, 331 runs behind. Boland has dismissed Ollie Pope twice in test matches, and he's averaging 25 against him. Travis Head is standing in front of a giant industrial fan, trying to cool down. Obviously, it's very, very hot at Adelaide. Extremely hot. After this over, I'll come back to some comments, so feel free to get them in, and I'll have a little read. Here's Scott Boland into Ollie Pope, who plays at that really late. It came in towards him, and he sort of half left, half played at it, and then he just dabbed it on the bounce to the second slip fielder. Just caught off guard by that one. Did he do something weird with it? No, just yeah. In fact, he didn't come off the bat. It came off his midsection. Pope getting a working over by Scott Boland. Right. Josh Inglis has come into gully now. 3 slips. You got Cam Green in there as well as Boland. This is shorter outside the off stump, left alone by Pope as the ball goes through to the keeper. Let's have a little read of some comments. I'd say England's still solid if Pope holds till lunchtime. I agree, Ame. I think Pope and Duckett need to be there. Alston Coutinho, never thought I'd be watching your stream whilst having a few vodka cola drinks and watching an Ashes game, which I don't normally watch. Well, I'm pleased that you joined me for a drink. Cheers. Put Lyon on before lunch. Might be a good shout, mightn't it? Get Nathan Lyon on before lunch. I don't know what Pat Cummins is thinking, but he's in their plans for sure. Here's Boland into Pope, who defends that one. That keeps a little bit low, actually. Got quite forward. Billy Pope plays it to cover, no run. Have a little drink myself. There we go, down the hatch. If anybody's wondering, that is Iron Brew Extra. I like it. They don't sponsor me or anything. It's just like the drink. Scottish soft drink, sugar free. Yes, I know water is the best drink. Of course it is. Here's Boland into Ollie Pope, who leaves this outside the off stump as he goes through to keep a no run. Yeah, it's kind of like these winter series in Australia just hit different for me. They just remind me of being a kid, you know, staying up late watching the cricket. It's just awesome. There's something magical about it. I don't know, something about winter cricket in Australia, i.e., Australian summer. I just really loved staying up late, you know, watching cricket at midnight, so falling asleep to the cricket a little bit. It's just, yeah, it's some of my best memories of watching cricket. Or watching cricket take place in Australia. I gotta get there at some point. I've got to do it. Here's Boland into Pope. Ooh, nearly gets an inside edge. He went driving, did Pope. The ball came in sharply and it went between his bat and his body through to the keeper in the end. Scott Boland starts with a maiden. England 40 for 1. Just taking another look at that ball. Yeah, it just went sort of inside his bat. He was driving outside the line of that one. And just as well, really, because little inside edge could have gone anywhere, onto the stumps, whatever. Right, that's the end of the over. Any more commentos? Right. There was a lot of talk in Australia prior to the series about how Australia's batting was lacking, whilst in England the media was gaga about Bazball. I think everybody, people around the world generally were getting a bit irritated about all the Bazball chat, because I get it. I can imagine it is quite annoying to hear about this all the time. Like it's like English broadcasters and journalists and cricketers and ex-cricketers were getting quite excited. There you go. Who wanted Lyon? Here he is, Nathan Lyon, into the attack before lunch. Still got just over 20 minutes to go to lunch. So yeah, Australia's main man. 562 wickets for Nathan Lyon. 38 years of age, 141 matches. Damn, man, that's a lot of Test cricket. Although not all of them will have gone 5 days. In fact, I imagine not a lot of them did. Here's Nathan Lyon with a leg slip and a slip in place as that first ball's turned just past short leg towards deep backward square for a single. I beg your pardon, I said leg slip, didn't I? He doesn't have a leg slip. He's got a short leg and a slip in place for Beckett, who just picked up a single there. He's on to 29 off 28. England 41 for 1. And Nathan Lyon's taken 63 wickets at Adelaide in his 15 tests there, averaging 25.3, which is more than anybody else, I believe, in Test cricket at Adelaide. I could be wrong, but I think that's more than anybody else. Here we go. Nathan Lyon into Ollie Pope. Drives nicely, but straight to mid-off. No run. That's Mitchell Stark doing the fielding. Let's see what Ollie Pope can do. He's looking for a big performance himself. Here's Lyon. Played uppishly. Terrific catch. What a catch at mid-wicket. Ollie Pope just chipped the ball. It was travelling. That is an outstanding catch at mid-wicket. And England have lost a second wicket. Pope just looking to try and get on with it. Took on Nathan Lyon. And Nathan Lyon, with his third ball, has delivered a wicket for Australia. Yet another wicket in his storied career already. That's a terrific effort diving forward as well. It's really, really good stuff. Double fist pump from Nathan Lyon. And England lose a second wicket before lunch. And it was a really outstanding catch, actually, by Josh Inglis. Really, really good catch from Josh Inglis. England 41 for 2. Right, comments. If England held their lines, that would probably be true. Andrew Chewy out. Great catch. Okay. I think maybe my stream is behind the live feed. Another controversial question is T20 cricket overhated when T20 cricket is the way it comes to growing the game. We'll come back to that. Sorry, I a bit in front. No problem, Andrew. Test cricket is where bad stereotypes about the game being slow come from. Catch it, they say in Ollie's dismay. Hello, Jen. Welcome back, buddy. Haven't seen you today so far. Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of things to digest there. We'll do all of that in a minute. Here's Joe Root anyway. England's premier batter, England's GOAT, 13,704 runs. Average of over 51, 40 centuries. And he finds himself in a little bit of a predicament. It's late, man. 1:10 in the UK, AM. So it's very late here in Cardiff. May as well bring in Liam Livingston for Ollie Pope. Probably does the same thing with less hype. It's naughty. That's a naughty one, Jen. Ame Pandey, England in need of mindfulness and meditation classes now. Andrew Chewy, I'll let you know when there's a wicket, then you can put a bet on before you watch it. Lyon into Root, who drives off a thick inside edge, but just wide of the fielder at mid-on. They're going to pick up a single. Down to long on, so Root's off the mark. England 42 for 2. I'm not one for sports betting, man. I just enjoy watching the game. Yeah, Nathan Lyon is the joint second highest wicket taker for Australia now. He's even with Glenn McGrath. We were talking about Glenn McGrath earlier. Now, both Lyon and McGrath have 563 wickets. Here's Lyon into Duckett, who plays the ball off a thick outside edge, just in front of point. Nobody's interested in joining him for a single. By nobody, I mean Joe Root. Shane Warne, obviously, at the top of the list in terms of top wicket takers in Test cricket for Australia. And no one's catching him. No one's catching him. Right, now Duckett has been looking good so far. Bit of pressure on him to try and deliver here. Nathan Lyon in. Duckett. Oh, he's bowled him! He's bowled him! Nathan Lyon's bowled Duckett. Oh, what a delivery. Pitched in front of middle, turned past the outside edge and hit the top of off stump. Ben Duckett can't believe it. He batted a magic ball from Nathan Lyon. He's got figures of 2 for 2 from his first over. He's bowled 1 over, figures of 2 for 2, and he's become officially in Australia's second highest wicket taker in Test cricket ever. England in all sorts of trouble, 42 for 3, still 329 runs behind Australia. This is bad from an England perspective, people. Very bad. Look at that. Pitches on middle, just turns past the outside edge. Duckett was playing the Bakerloo line. The ball was going down the Jubilee line. I don't know if that's the exact quote. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Nathan Lyon has come into this game before lunch, as was requested, and delivered 2 wickets in his first over. Pope and Duckett gone. England in disarray. Disarray. Let's read some comments. Jen told me bold. Andrew Chewy said out. Put the bet on. Ame Pandey's got the crying emoji. Jen says, "Oh, Gaza, you are the love of my life." Oh, Gaza. Gaza is Nathan Lyon's nickname. Jen, I think poor shot Duckett. Yeah, he played down the wrong line. Did turn, but you expect a bit better, don't you? Austin Coutinho. Sorry, England fans. Australia winning this. Y'all got your confidence from drawing a series against a young Indian team low of confidence at home. It's very hard to disagree with that, isn't it, at the moment? Here comes Harry Brook. And I think he's going to be the non-strikers end because that wicket fell off the last ball of the over. Scott Boland is going to bowl his second over. He bowled a maiden to start with. England made a bright start for a while. They looked good when Crawley and Duckett were going. What was that first wicket partnership worth? 37. So England have gone from 37 for none to 42 for 3. Ah, my goodness. Oh, England. That's not great. Here's Scott Boland into Joe Root. Pushes the ball off the back foot to backward point. No run. He's such a great player, man. Instantly just looks like he's got so much time on the ball. Just unbelievable. Is Joe Root. But, I mean, the situation is pretty dire for England. 329 runs behind. 3 wickets down already. Nathan Lyon doing the business. How far is this test going to go? Well, I'm just putting this out there. Like, they've still got to score another sort of 80 runs to avoid the follow-on. I'm just saying. Oh, inside edge, has he taken it? No, big appeal. There's a huge appeal. They're appealing for LBW because I thought that was off the bat. And there's a big appeal. And the ball didn't carry through to the keeper, I guess. There's lots of discussion, lots of discussion. I think that ball ended up missing everything. God, could you imagine if they just missed Joe Root there as well? Scott Boland. Australia just on top at the moment. I think he's fine. They haven't reviewed it or anything like that. Oh, it has been reviewed. It has been reviewed. Joe Root looking a little bit tense now. He's just scored the 1 run. That was just the 3rd ball that he's faced. Let's have a look at it. Does it take an inside edge? I think it takes an inside edge onto his pad and then doesn't carry through to the keeper. I think that's what's happening. It's an inside edge off his bat onto his back pad and doesn't go through to the keeper. So I think he'll be pretty safe. Yeah, big inside edge on Sicko, huge inside edge. It's not a great review that from Australia, really. Yeah. They're just making sure, 100% sure that it didn't carry through to the keeper. Just taking a look at it. Ball. Well, it's gone into the gloves. I think it's bounced before it's gone into the gloves, but it's not as clear. It's not as cut and dry as it looked live. Let's have a look. They magnify. They've got the big zoom in on now. Ball is going. I think that's ground before glove. I think the ball has hit the ground for sure. This could be quite controversial if it's given out, but I think the ball's hit the ground and he sort of scoops it up with his gloves. And he didn't claim it straight away, did Alex Carey? He was like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So let's see. But it's definitely, we know that there's definitely bats, so this has got to be a catch on the side on. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got the gloves closed on it. It's not an immediately clear one, so slightly tricky decision for the umpire. But if this is given out, this could be bad for England. The on-field decision was not out. Let's find out. Australia have been superb today. The only phase of the play that's gone with England was that opening partnership between Crawley and Duckett, 37 runs. But since then and before then, Australia have sort of dominated. And when they dominate, the phases of play that Australia dominate, they really make them count. Really make them count. All right, we're still having a look. Still waiting for a decision. All right, here we go. Big screen, decision pending. Not out. Not out. Yeah, I think that's fair, actually. I think it looked like the ball bounced in front. The keeper wasn't sure himself. And, yeah, some English fans cheering. I don't know what they're cheering for, man. It's not a great situation for England right now. 42 for 3. Really up against it. I know I'm behind on comments. I'll come back to them after this over. 42 for 3. Scott Boland yet to concede a run. Both 8 balls. Just put Joe Root under all sorts of pressure. England fans, there's a whole section of England fans at the Adelaide Oval, and they're just sort of clapping, trying to get. What do you do, man? What do you do? I feel so bad for those fans. It's so little to cheer since they've gone over for the Ashes. Just have their whole experience just shattered. I guess you got to say fair play to the Australians, right? They played some good cricket, really good cricket, and England less so. Here's Boland into Root. Ooh, beats the outside edge again. He's so considered before on a broken record. Scott Boland just hits the right area over and over and over and over again. I just respect it, man. Just respect that grind, that hustle, that consistency. All right, let's have a little look at the comments. As I said, a worldie from Stokes is due. How did that miss everything, says Jen. Ooh, it is edged. It was edged. Australia versus the Africa World Test Final was the last classy test match I watched. That's a good review. He dropped it. We'll go with on-field decision. I think it'll be umpire's decision. Sorry, I said English in the field by T, says Andrew Chewy. Hold on. Next ball is defended into the offside. Boland picks up himself. No run. More comments. Well, for Boland, that's the line he needs to bowl. Absolutely. I feel like the Aussies just did the basics right. Again, can't argue with any of that. Can't argue with any of that, chaps. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. 16 people watching. People, thumbs up would be appreciated if you're watching the stream. Thank you. Here's Boland into Root, who defends the ball to mid-on, where Pat Cummins picks up. There is no run. Just taking a look at that sort of catching opportunity again. Yeah, to the naked eye, because there's that big Audi advertisement on the pitch. You know the little pitch advertisements that they have. There's a big Audi one, so the ball sort of disappeared when you're looking at it from the original director's angle. So it was hard to see, but it was a lot closer when they put the zoom in. And Alex Carey sort of half claimed it, saying he's not sure. And I think actually what he wasn't sure about was whether the ball hit the bat, as the next ball is defended by Joe Root. He awkwardly just prods it or just sort of snooker cues it away to backward point. I think that's what he wasn't really sure of, was did the ball actually come off the bat. But anyway, that's another maiden over from Scott Boland. Australia really applying the pressure at the moment. 42 for 3. Australia will be thinking we can get one more before lunch. And they'll really want to go for that as well. Well, what a session. You're an England fan. Horrible one. If you're an Australian fan, this is super. Ame says you're right. That could be about anything, but I'll take it. Thanks, Ame. And thanks, guys. It's been fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been fun for me. Chatting, watching the game. Right. They're showing an advert for Hugo Boss at the moment on TNT Sports. Some aftershave around here somewhere. Here in Cardiff, where I'm watching the game. I'll be watching from Leicester tomorrow. I hope I can make it back to my hotel in time for the first session. Maybe I'll join a bit late. Here's Lyon into Harry Brook, who works this ball away off his pads down towards fine leg. They'll just jog through for a single. Harry Brook off the mark, off his first ball. That's just the third run that Nathan Lyon's conceded. England 43 for 3. Now, Nathan Lyon has dismissed Joe Root 8 times in tests at an average of just under 55. So Joe Root generally has played Nathan Lyon quite well. But Lyon's on a roll today. As this time the ball strikes Lyon on the pad outside the line of off stump. There was an appeal for LBW, but it's hitting him a long way outside the line of off stump. Just testing the umpire there as Nathan Lyon. But they're just feeling it right now. You can tell the body language from the Australians is like pretty hectic, pretty positive. There's vibes. That ball turns sharply as well. Root just gets forward and negates the bounce a little bit. I'll go through the comments at the end of this this over, because Nathan Lyon, the spinner, gets through his usually quite quickly when there aren't referrals and wickets happening every 2 seconds. There's a surge of viewers every now and again, but none of them gives me that 10th thumbs up that I want. Here's Lyon into Root, who drives slightly uppishly towards mid-wicket. There is no run. Joe Root's now faced 10 deliveries, just got the 1 run to his name. 43 for 3. Nathan Lyon's keeping things very tidy. He's got, okay, another close fielder. So there's a short leg, a slip, and now that fielder that's just off the strip on the onside, sort of a straight mid-on, straight short mid-on. It's Pat Cummins who's in there. Lyon into Root, reverse sweep, connects beautifully, and that should go to the boundary for 4. It does. It's a quality shot from Joe Root, that. Nathan Lyon not really bowling to his field, just outside off stump and quite full, and Root got his hands and switched his hands around very quickly and so deftly, just put it away. A welcome one for England. England need runs. Nicely played by Joe Root. England 47 for 3. Here's Lyon into Root. Goes for it again. Nails it again. But there's a fielder in place this time. Scott Boland, a deep backward point. I think this is just merciless. It's Pat Cummins. He knows that's an area that Joe Root favours, and he's already blocked that passage. Just going to get singles out there every time. They'll take him, to be fair. That's the Eddie over as well. So England 48 for 3 after 12 overs, with Joe Root on 6 and Harry Brook on 1. And it's been Nathan Lyon. Well, that first wicket fell to... who did that first wicket fall to? To Cummins, of course it did. Yes, Pat Cummins took the first wicket. We'll do a recap at the end of the session, but there was that over from Nathan Lyon that changed everything. 2 wickets in the over. Ollie Pope and then Ben Duckett. And just like that, Australia just put a sleeper hold on this game. Control. Sleeper hold. Boland into Root, who gets forward and defends the ball back to the bowler. No run. Right. I'm supposed to read some comments at the end of the over, wasn't I? Let's have a read. I feel like the Aussies just did the basics right. Yeah. Is the Ashes bigger than Pakistan, India, and what has been the best memory of one of these rivalries? Is the Ashes bigger than Pakistan, India? I think it depends, man. Like, it's all about perspective. Like, from a neutral perspective, I would say they're about even, probably, for neutrals. I'm of Pakistani origin. I live in Britain. I love both rivalries. Says Boland in, left alone outside the off time. I love watching India-Pakistan games, obviously. But also, can't beat the Ashes. Love it. I wouldn't put one above the other. And I probably have done previously in interviews and things, but right now, I quite like them evenly. When are you touring Australia? I don't know, Andrew. I'd love to get over to Australia. There's been loads of sort of aborted plans. Like, I was supposed to go over there for something called Perth Fringe World, which is like a performing arts festival. I was supposed to come over for that and perform. Didn't work out. It's not like the Sydney Opera House is opening its doors for me. Not just yet, anyway. Let's see how famous we can get with the stand-up. This is a joke. Fuller delivery from Boland. Beautifully flicked away by Joe Root. Just flicked it off his pads to the mid-wicket boundary for 4. Lovely looking shot. Joe Root into double figures. He's on 10 off 15. England 53 for 3. And just looking at that shot again, he just stepped across his stumps and flicked it away towards the boundary for 4. Lovely shot. Really nice from Joe Root. This series has got Aussies rooting for England. Says Ame. The Aussies just want to see some fight, but again, the Aussies are ruthless, as Alston Coutinho, and so right you are, buddy. There's Boland into Root. This one keeps a little bit low. Root leaves it alone outside the off stump. Goes through to the keeper on the bounce. 53 for 3. That boundary brought up the 50 for England, which is something. Something, isn't it? I reckon this will be the second last over before lunch. I think they'll get one more in before lunch. I think 2003 win versus India was the revenge for the back-to-back series wins in Australia. Yes, I would say so. I would say so. Right. Here's Boland. Into Joe Root. Again, keeps a little bit low. Joe Root gets forward, defends the ball back to the bowler. There is no run. It's a really nice, really beautiful stadium, man. I really wish I get to go there one day. The Adelaide Oval. They all look great in Australia, to be fair. Just cricket looks nice there. I'm watching the Big Bash and things like that. Just the presentation, the vibes, it all just looks great. One day. One day. Oh, Charlie Chaplin's in the crowd. He's napping. Here's Scott Boland into Joe Root. Oh, big appeal for LBW. Everybody's interested except for the bowler, because the bowler's got the best view and that ball was hitting him outside the line of off stump. Scott Boland wasn't interested. All the slips went up. Let's take another look at it. Yeah, hitting him comfortably outside the line of off stump and also quite high as well. Got a lot of time for Scott Boland. Just excellent bowler. Just so consistent. Bowls at a good pace, just over 130 Ks, and just can hit the same mark over and over and over and over again. Like, it's a throwback to old school, classy Test cricketers. You know what I mean? You got one more ball to come in this over. England 53 for 3. Joe Root on 10 off 18. There's Boland. That one keeps low, but pushed to backward point. There is no run. And that's the 13th over of this England innings complete. They are 53 for 3. 318 runs behind Australia. 3 wickets to fall. Zach Crawley went for 9. Ollie Pope went for 3. Ben Duckett went for 29. He batted well. Ben Duckett played some really nice shots after looking a little bit circumspect up top, and then just a beautiful delivery from Nathan Lyon. Could he have done better with it? Probably. Probably, actually. But anyway. Comments. Do you think the English fans need to be more invested in cricket as they already are? Need to be more invested in cricket? I think no. I mean, I don't think you can ever be too invested in cricket. Just be as invested in cricket as you need to. Like, I think England fans are pretty invested in cricket. I mean, look at how many of them have gone over to Australia to watch this series. Loads of them. I think just being objective about your team and being a little bit, never being too smug, as that ball's played up a thick outside edge to backward point. I think this is important for cricket fans. You should never, ever get too smug, because there's always a humbling coming. There's always a match coming or a series coming or a tournament coming where you will be humbled. So it's better to just be graceful, not get too overexcited, not overhype things too much. You know what I mean? I celebrate your achievements, but anyway, line in. That ball sees Brook go deep in his crease and defend the ball back to the bowler. There is no run. England are in trouble here. 53 for 3. Yep, they've got two quality batters out in the middle, but this is a task and a half now, isn't it? Joe Root on 10 off 19, Brook on 1 off 3. Nathan Lyon in again very quickly, and that ball's worked away nicely by Brook. Goes deep in his crease and shuffles across, plays it out to deep backward square leg for a single. This is probably going to be the last over before lunch. England currently 317 runs behind. Overhyped, sounds like the England national team. Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But I'll come back to that in a second. I see a few other comments as well. I'll come back to all of that. I think this will be the last over before the end of the session. And then we'll get through some comments and wrap things up. Here's Lyon. Flighted ball outside off stump. Pushed just in front of point by Root. Picks up a single. 55 for 3. England 316 behind. Just all about getting through these next two balls for England. Nathan Lyon looking for another little piece of magic. If Australia will be over the moon, by the way. 55 for 3. Australia thrilled. Here's Lyon into Brook. It's a bit shorter outside the off stump. Punched off the back foot nicely by Brook and timed it well as well. And is going to get to the boundary for 4. There were two fielders in that area, and he managed to perfectly pierce the gap between them. Bisected them perfectly. I hate it when commentators say that dissected them. What are they, frogs in your class? You're not dissecting. Just annoying. And it's the most overused thing. Listen out for commentary next time. You'll hear somebody say, oh, he's dissected the fielders perfectly. Oh, has he? Sounds painful. Bisected. Lovely shot from Harry Brook. He's on to 6. Lyon into Brook. Gets forward. Defends the next ball. Back to the bowler. Very sensible shot. That is the end of the session. And that session, despite that boundary that we just saw, belongs to Australia. So, a few words being exchanged there between Joe Root and Nathan Lyon. I think it's all pleasant. Nobody else has intervened. They're just side by side chatting. Root's got a smile on his face. Nathan Lyon saying some stuff. They're still chatting to each other, exchanging a few words. And now they're sort of going off in different directions. Now Nathan Lyon's smiling as well. He's had a good session there, Nathan Lyon. 2 for 14 from his 3 overs. England finished this session on 59 for 3, which is 312 runs behind Australia. It's a deficit and a half, isn't it? Right. I'm going to wrap up by reading some of these comments. Is it second rate compared to the current Ashes series, but looking forward to the centenary test match? Who do you want or expect to see in the English lineup? I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to wait till the end of the series, Jen, because we won't know. We won't know how to rebuild until we have all the data, if that makes any sense. But I think there's already a few players whose heads are probably on the chopping block. It's coming home, I heard. I mean, in terms of numbers, rather than overconfident fans in Australia, they're more invested as a percentage. Yeah, fair enough. Ame Pandey, McCullum, and Gambhir would get along so well. A match made in heaven. Good night, folks. Have a good time watching, says Ame. Good night. Thanks for joining, buddy. I hope you enjoyed the coverage. Oh, look at that. We hit the 10 thumbs up as well. Excellent. Well done, guys. Thank you. Target achieved. Thanks for the chat, says Andrew. Watching cricket by myself. Time to do some yard work. Man, it's so weird to think about people in different time zones. Like, it's time probably to try and go to sleep for me. It's 1:33 a.m. in the UK right now. But anyway, so Australia own that session, guys, don't they? England 59 for 3. They are 312 runs behind. Australia finished on 371. It's Australia's test match to lose at the moment, isn't it? What, any other cricket happening around the world? Yeah, New Zealand and West Indies having that third test. It's raining at Mount Maunganui. So New Zealand 138 for no loss at the moment. Melbourne Stars playing tomorrow morning against Hobart Hurricanes. Lots of cricket coming up. But anyway, just want to thank everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. It's 12:33 where you are. Okay, Andrew. Yeah, get some yard work done, boy. Get out there, shave a few extra strips into the garden, turn it into a batting pitch for yourself. Why are England fans thinking about the centenary rather than the Ashes. Well, because the Ashes have pretty much gone, haven't they, Alston? It's hard to seeing them getting the Ashes back with the way things have gone, I would say. But anyway, guys, listen, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much, everybody who joined, who's chatted, who's dropped comments, and watched all the way through. It's been fun. I think I really enjoyed watching the game and sharing it with you guys. And I'll do more of these. I'll try and do one tomorrow. I'm not sure if I can start on time, but I'll do my best. And yeah, let's hope for another good day's cricket. Let's see what happens from here. I won't do the next session. I think it's time for me to just try and get some sleep. But thanks for watching. If you get a chance, please do watch some of the other videos on my channel. I try and make some fun content about sort of cricket history generally, like things that I found interesting in cricket history. And then the shorts that I've made are also about interesting things that happen in cricket. I've got an Instagram account called Cricket with Aatif, spelt the way it is in my channel, Cricket with Aatif. So you can follow that if you like. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Aatif Nawaz official. Anything else I feel like plugging now is fine. Like those of you that are not familiar with my work, you could go ahead and find it. I've been a cricket commentator and analyst and presenter for like 7 years now on the BBC in England. And other than that, I've done some stand-up comedy and some bit of acting and bits and pieces and things like that. But yeah. Anyway, this was a lot of fun, guys. Have a lovely evening. Thanks for watching. Drop us a subscribe and all that stuff if you can. All the things you're supposed to ask for, I'm not an expert on, but I appreciate it. I'll try and make this thing better as I go along as well. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Have a good night, everybody. Look after yourselves. And let's hope for some more good cricket. Cheers. Yeah, there we go.